video podcast froze for whatever reason. Maybe it's on my end, I'm not sure. But actually, before I get ready to wrap up here, let me show you something real quick. Let me show you my backyard. That's pretty cool, ain't it? That's awesome. Anyway, let's hit that back around here. Okay, so let me go ahead and finish up with this. So I was like towards the last 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Um, so yeah, I went through the comparison of what we do to ourselves and each other in relationships and so on and so forth financially. We do it all the time. We categorize each other, right? We categorize ourselves because we've been trained that way. Okay. So in closing, as I was talking about when I was on the board, I was essentially talking about that I was basically kind of giving you a quick formula that I learned, um, through mentorship and just going through try, failing, adjusting, reading a lot of the right books and everything. And here's what I discovered. Obviously, that everybody has a future, okay? And that future is trapped in a seed, okay? And that seed is actually on the inside of you, right? Now, here's the kicker. So within that seed, there's a vision in there. Within that seed, also, there's your abilities slash talents. Okay. Now, those 5 questions that I always talk to you guys about: who are you, identity, why are you here, okay, purpose, where are you from, origin, okay, what you can do, I already told you that before, talents, abilities, and where you're going, vision, okay. So those are very, very important, okay. So what the world teaches us overall, and what we've been taught in school, public, private, doesn't matter, is how is what do you want to do, or what do you want to be when you grow up. So that channels you into thinking job, okay. You work for somebody else. They're never going to pay you what you think you're worth, right? And because of what you think you're worth at the time doesn't mean, if you learn how to increase your own value, which is one of the laws, the law of value, and know how to do that, then your worth will increase, right? Your influence will increase, okay? Um, but if you can picture, if you circle vision, right? Let's say I'm drawing a circle with vision, okay? And I put the V in there, okay? So the world tells you, all right, hey, what do you want to be? So you got this teeny little circle on the left-hand side, right? And let's put job in there. That's most people's thinking, okay? That was my thinking, right? So you can't fit but so much in that circle, right? Before your legs and everybody squished in that little circle, okay? That's what most people do because we were programmed and trained that way, okay? Unfortunately, most people die with music still in them, okay? And when I mean music, I mean whatever talent and ability they have, the world will never know, right? There's somebody who just passed recently as I'm talking right now, and unfortunately, the world didn't know who they were, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm showing you how to do that, okay? Now, what we do is we say, oh, we're in this job right here, I'm making this amount of money, and we shrink the vision, right? Most of the time, majority of the time, little kids see their vision in their mind, okay? When they were younger, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around that area, 11, 12, okay? If the world hasn't beat it out of you, or the people that are closest hasn't beat it out of you, okay? And, not all the time, it's not done on purpose. But birds of a feather flock together, and there's a difference between chickens and eagles, right? I don't need to tell you that, you understand, okay? So the world teaches us, because the job fits us in this small little circle, okay, and the vision that was put inside of us, the product, right, by the manufacturer is so huge, it's massive, right? Look at all the people that have done great things for mankind, okay? Not the made up fictitious stuff, okay? But people that have done some great things, okay? To help mankind, okay? And what we were taught to do in the public school system and even in the private school system is to shrink the vision. make the vision smaller, smaller, smaller to the same size as the job. So what I learned from the mentors, who were millionaires, multimillionaires, a lot of books that I've read, the right kind of books and everything like that, and through try, fail, and adjusting, I learned is that you can keep the job, but you have to ask yourself, how do I want to live? Okay. Now your mind opens up and you keep asking yourself that, and you should write it down. There's a reason we ask ourselves questions, right? Those 5 questions, because you keep saying it over and over and over again. Gosh, I hope you guys get this. I'm telling you how your brain works. It's 20,000 trillion calculations a second. Okay. It's amazing, right? The prison is in the mind. Okay. So if instead of asking yourself and listening to other people say, what do I want to do, ask yourself, how do I want to live? Okay. And write that down. Write it all down. I'm telling you, it works. Okay. Now, the next thing that I do is I develop a plan. Okay. And okay, I want to do this. I want to do that. Now, unfortunately, the system is set up this way. So hey, I need to make $50,000 on outside of what I'm making right now. Okay. Remember what I said. Listen to what I said. Money does not exist. It's think. Think and grow rich for a reason. Okay. Now that book got it from the Bible, which is a legal document, a constitution of success. But that's a whole nother topic in itself. But that's where they got that book from. And it still sells millions of copies per year, Think and Grow Rich does, because they got that from King Solomon, ultimately the creator. But anyway, so keep the vision that you have inside, right? Keep that circle real big with the V inside of it, okay? That's what's inside of you, what's inside of me, okay? Now check this out. When you ask yourself, how do I want to live? And you keep asking yourself and you write it down, it's going to open up and expand. So much so where the circle that you had, where they said, what do you want to do? That had the job, okay? The how-to circle, right? Follow me. I had to come out here, guys, because the YouTube stopped. That's why I'm on my phone when I went outside, okay? So I'm still going to get the message out to help you guys out, okay? Because it's helped me out, it's helping me out, and I'm helping out other people all around the world, okay? So expand that how circle and to match the vision circle, which is going to be massive. And I promise you, your brain is going to think of, how can I get to that vision, whatever it is, okay? That book I need to write, that poem I need to write has been aching me and scratching in the back of my mind. That championship I want to win. You see what I'm saying? Apply it to whatever it is, okay? And put pictures in it also too, guys, okay? Because you got to give something your mind to focus on, okay? All right, so I'm done. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Actually, I know it does help you out. I'm not sure what happened with the whole freezing thing on my laptop. Maybe I need to update something. I have to check into that at some point. But I just wanted you guys to understand, even though we've been programmed to compare ourselves and it steals our joy, if you catch yourself, that lets you know, that lets you know that you're progressing. Okay. See, when I started to learn how to catch myself when I'm trying to compare myself in my mind to somebody else, for many different reasons, and there's so many different reasons you don't want to do that. It destroys your self-image. Okay. And there's a reason why the rhymes with Bella, starts with an R, ends with an S, the family, petroleum, oil, or whatever. I'm saying that because I don't want the AI to kind of mess everything up or whatever. But you know who I'm talking about, The Rock, But anyway, so his quote back in the 1800s is that, again, I don't need a nation of thinkers. I need a nation of workers, worker bees, right? Slaves, corporate slaves. That's basically what he was saying, okay? So I just showed you how to unlock your mind. That's one of the ways I showed you how to unlock your mind. But the frustrating part is going to be with the same program that we already have. As you're doing those steps that I told you, you write them down. It's going to be frustrating, but so what? Time's going to pass. You might as well go ahead and keep on it. Okay. So you guys have a great night. Take care, and you guys be safe. And I'll holler at you next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Kingdom Diplomat out.